Hello, this is a video for the 2002 Toys R Us exclusive Night Rhino that came with Dusty version 5. I looked around the vehicle. I don't see Dusty. We do have what I believe is gears or something, right there. Um, then back here, or actually in front, we've got a version of Mercer, I believe. And this one actually slides back and forth like that, and the two in the back lift up and down. So like this one right here, lift up. Let's see, got to make sure that the back door is closed in order to get in there. So anyway, so there's not Dusty, Spirit. So a version of Spirit that came with one of the gliders. He's in there. And most of the time I put figures that I don't necessarily dislike, but maybe not really going to use very much. I put those in the vehicles that they're kind of hidden, because no sense on hiding unless you're using the vehicle at the time. No sense in hiding a character or somebody that you're going to use a lot in a vehicle that you can't see them. So I just put all the ones that I'm not too big of fans in there, and yet I don't want to put them in a box so that I am taking up space in a box or don't, can't find them. Right here you can see it says lift here. Or actually, it's kind of blurry, but take my word for it, it does say lift there. And so you lift and you take off, and there's the engine. Just like with the equalizer from the Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders, I think this was another vehicle that they used. Sergeant Slaughter was in quite a bit, and maybe actually the Warthog that this is based off of actually came with a version of Sergeant Slaughter, I believe. And even though this is a Night Rhino, they still have, I believe, the same exact stickers that it did when it was the Warthog. So if you're thinking, hey, do rhinos really have big tusks sticking out of their mouths like that, or a big tooth like that? Maybe so. I haven't looked at a rhino in a long time, but I don't think so. So that big tooth there is because this is the sticker that they used for the warthog. And of course, warthogs do have those teeth or tusks sticking out of their mouths. So just like with the equalizer, you can either assume that these are meant to shoot out grenades, or it could be some form of water ventilation, because this is a vehicle that's meant to go in the swamps and somewhat deep water, as long as it's not up to, and again, this is all fictional. I wouldn't use this in the water of any kind, unless you're not worried about stickers coming off or filth and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so non-fictional, you wouldn't want it to be in too deep of water, because these, of course, unless they're sealed with glass, water would seep in there and drown your people. So it's just meant for swamp water or low water, and so either grenades or water filtration or vents is what I would say those are on the side. It does have a gun here that swivels back and forth. It has these two missiles up here. I am actually missing the tip for one of them. My ideas on why you would have missiles that come apart is that I would think you would either launch this, and this nose cone right here would take the missile as far as possible, and then it would fall off, and then this would actually be the bomb. So this is just to help it get through the air. This is to make it blow up. Or you could think maybe it's a two-stage missile. Maybe this one falls off and blows up one thing, and then this goes a little farther and blows up something else. Maybe they're remote controlled to separate at a certain time. Kind of cool. So I get that back on there. And they do come off. Try and do that. Again, sorry that I have to do this all one-handed. So anyways, so does come off. I would say these are really soft plastic though, so either keep them away from heat or sunlight, or be prepared for them to kind of warp. I don't know that you can really tell, but just from being in the box, I think is how these got kind of warped. So anyway, on the sides here, there are two hatches that open up. Again, kind of interesting, the figures that I've chosen to put in here, but again, not a figure that I really dislike, but not really a figure that I can see myself using very much. Get into what this is in a second here. So in here we have, well, maybe it's easier to get him. So if you don't know who this character is, if you have a chance to read up on him, it's kind of interesting. This is Ice Cream Soldier. He's actually a flamethrower specialist, so kind of funny. And some, collectors like him, some people don't, just kind of interesting. So there's Ice Cream Soldier right there. And then let's see if we can now get to who else is in here. So then, interesting again that even though this is a water vehicle, or somewhere all-terrain vehicle, I have Duke, and this is a Duke from the Star Brigade line. So kind of interesting that a space figure is in there, but So we'll get into what this was when I took it out earlier. It's actually a seatbelt or bracket of some kind. I'm not sure what word I'm looking for, but it does go in this little hole that's right there. But since these two guys need all the room, it does come out. And there are pegs. If you look right back there in the corner, there is one, so that could hold them in place. But again, you can see another version of Duke, but since they don't look alike, it can be somebody different. There's two people that can sit back there, two people that can sit here, two way in the back over there, so that's 6, and then 3 more is 9. I don't believe there's any pegs anywhere on the outside for anyone to stand, so basically 9 figures is how many people can fit in here. So I'll show you this side too. So that's what it looks like when you put the bracket or seatbelt or whatever in place. You can see that with Spirit, he does have his own little console right there and his own little seat. In the back, even though I've never really towed anything with any of the vehicles that have tow hooks, it is kind of cool that there's a tow hook there. And I think that pretty much covers everything. I am glad that even though it is a Night Rino, I would just say Warthog, or all-terrain vehicle. When you're using it in your displays or storylines or dioramas or whatever. So another vehicle that I'm glad that I was able to get, and thanks for watching.